Hey y'all. Hi, how you doing? So, welcome back to another episode of Creating Hanley. Me and Sabrina here are jumping into mid-January 2023 with another star block. So we're doing the QuiltAlong, Quilt as You Go, Star of the Month, so a year full of stars. However, I'm throwing in an extra one for January because I'm going to throw in a birthday one. So this is, oh, and by the way, it's almost 3 a.m., so sorry. So I whipped this up this morning. Whoa. So hopefully you can see that. So that's what I want to teach you guys, but I want to tell you the material to get. So I just went to Walmart, actually. I'll just say the name. And I just got 2 fat quarters. I got this fat quarter, and I got this color fabric fat quarter. So the balloons and then like a matching burst of color. So what I had been trying to do was find online a pattern for a quilt pattern called Shooting Star or maybe Comet or Starburst or something. And there are some quilt patterns called those, but they're not what I had in mind. So this is kind of what I had in mind, like for a shooting star, right? When you think of a comet, you think of a star with a tail. And so this is what I created. I just took these, I just had these 3 colors in my stash. So I didn't buy these special because you don't need much at all. So I bought a fat quarter of this balloon. I bought a fat quarter of this starburst color to match the balloons. And then I just had this in my stash. And what I did was I cut 1.5 inch strips about 14 inches long. So I can't do this backwards. So about 14 inches long, 1.5 inches, and then I just sewed those strips together to form this strip. And then so anyway, this is going to be the lesson. So I wanted to show you that. And then I just cut this out and I sewed it right on top. So you can see how I just top stitched it, and so it's on there. Okay? This is not done yet, so I want to do this on camera with you guys, but at a later date. I want you to get the material first. And also, what I did with the leftovers is I created another 12-inch block. So you can see, if you look closely, I pieced these little blocks together here so that I made another 12-inch block. So I didn't waste any of the fat quarter. I did not waste any of it. I have like a teeny tiny bit left over, and I put that in my crumb box. And then also what I did was I cut another star. And I also had this fabric. I had this fabric from a different project. And so instead of making, oh, where'd it go? Uh-oh, I just lost it. So instead of making this comet trail again, I just used this fabric that I had. Now, is it important that you get like specifically what I have? No. You can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you what I used. And so if you wanted to copy it or come close to it, you can do that. Now, I just used red, yellow, and orange. You can use whatever color you want. If you use like blues, or even if you use like a print of space stars, or black and blue and stars of space, there's that fabric that's out there too, so you could do that, like constellations or something. That's, if you wanted to use flowers, that's fine. If you wanted to use cows, whatever you want to do. All I wanted to do was to make a specific birthday star. So, and I wanted to use like something that would indicate a comet trail, and a star. This one is going to be a little bit different from this one. This one has a fusible backing. So I'll tell you about that. And this also has a fusible backing. This is a fusible backing right here. But what I did was something a little bit different from that. So we're going to go over that in our next part 2 on how to do both of those. Okay? This one is sewed into this. However, this will be sewed on top of this. So both shooting stars are going to be a little bit different. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways on how to do that. And like I said, all I did was I had like this fabric. I just took a 3.5 inch cut, 3.5 inch wide cut by, I think this is like 17 inches. It doesn't have to be that long, but that's what I cut. Because, and I'll tell you why. Because if you measure, where am I here? This corner to this corner, it's about a little over 17, between 17 and 18 inches, I think. So if you wanted to take your, oh my gosh, I can't get them backwards on this. So if you wanted to take your comet tail, like from, or just split it in half, you can do that. It's like 18 inches. So I just took that, and then I also had like this fabric, you know, these are just leftovers from other projects. And so I just had those in my stash. And like I said, you can use whatever's in your stash. You don't have to buy something specific, and you don't have to buy what I have. So whatever works for you. Again, this is a birthday theme. So whatever works for your birthday theme, that's fantastic. This happened to be at Walmart, and so I just picked that up. And so that's what we're going to do. So again, I used 2 fat quarters. I used the entire fat quarter of the balloons, and then I used pieces of the fat quarter for the stars. Okay? So these blocks will measure somewhere around 12 inches, so we're going to make them pretty big. So I just wanted to get you guys prepared for the next block, and the next episode will be teaching you how to make these stars. So I also cut out a star template, and that's how I got these stars. So a star template. And that'll be helpful to keep the sides, to keep everything, you know, the same size. Okay, I hope that helps. So that's going to be our next block, our birthday block, our next block for January of 2023. You can make this in whatever month you want, but I just wanted to do it kind of first thing of the year because people have birthdays from the first of the year all the way to the end. So you can do it whenever you want, but I'm just going to throw it in here because we already finished our very first January block. So I just wanted to throw in another one here, and this is going to come together pretty quick. So you'll see. So 2 different ways to do a shooting star, and like I said, I have not seen any other videos on how to sew or how to quilt these shooting stars. I have seen other titles of quilt blocks called shooting stars or like starburst, something like that. I have not seen anything called comet. So if you actually have done one, let me know if it's like this. I also was thinking about like making this a curved tail. So that might be a little bit more advanced. So if you're just a beginner starting out in quilting, I want to keep it relatively simple. But for this one, you will need a pattern. So just find something that, you know, a star that you really like, or you can get a template online and print it out. And depending on the size of your star, you can leave it at 100%. I think I took this down to like 75% or something like that. This one's a little bit bigger than this one. So, yeah. So, that's pretty much. You're just going to use scissors and a rotary cutter if you have one. So again, 2 fat quarters and whatever scraps you have in whatever fabric that suits you for a birthday, right? It doesn't have to be like specific party stuff. It can be whatever you want. This is your quilt. This is your star quilt. But I just wanted to make another star in a birthday theme. So, okay, I think I've said that enough. You guys get the point. So just pick whatever fabric you want. I'm going to give you some time to do that. The next episode will be up shortly. I'm kind of busy in the next couple of days, so we'll see when I can get that going. I really am anxious to get this block done and quilted because it looks really fun, guys. It looks so fun. Okay, so there's that. So again, thank you for quilting along with our star block of the month. So a star each month. So stars of the year. I don't know. Quilt along, quilt as you go. So remember, Quilt Along is the group of us quilting at kind of the same time. And then a quilt as you go is quilting. I kind of have it right here. Quilting the whole thing in a block. So this is the batting, and I didn't add a backing yet because I wanted, these two, I wanted this to be a backing. But anyway, I quilted this star on the batting. However, nobody's going to see it because it's on the inside of the quilt. So usually if you have a back to your batting, you're going to see this on the back, which is exactly what you want. But I didn't do that. It's also 3 o'clock in the morning, guys. So I got to get up in 4 hours. So anyway, let's do this, okay? All right. So you guys have a good night. Have fun picking out the fabric. Again, I only used 2 fat quarters, so you don't need a lot here. And these fat quarters at Walmart were like $1.50 a piece, so it's not really expensive. And also, you could see I used yellow thread, but you can use whatever color. Whatever color matches or contrasts to the pattern, to the fabric that you get is fine. It doesn't really matter. Whatever works for you, okay? So again, thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for the next episode, part 2, on how to put those stars together. All right. Catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.